The Man Booker Prize for Fiction is a literary prize awarded each year for the best original novel, written in the English language, and published in the UK. The winner of the Man Booker Prize is generally assured of international renown and success. Therefore, the prize is of great significance for the book trade. The Booker Prize is greeted with great anticipation and fanfare. It is also a mark of distinction for authors to be selected for inclusion in the shortlist or even to be nominated for the long list. The 2013 winner, announced on October 15, was The Luminaries by Canadian-born New Zealand author Eleanor Catton. History and Administration. The prize was originally known as the Booker McConnell Prize, after the company Booker McConnell began sponsoring the event in 1968. It became commonly known as the Booker Prize, or simply the Booker. When administration of the prize was transferred to the Booker Prize Foundation in 2002, the title sponsor became the investment company Man Group, which opted to retain Booker as part of the official title of the prize. The foundation is an independent registered charity funded by the entire profits of Booker Prize Trading Limited, of which it is the sole shareholder. The prize money awarded with the Booker Prize was originally £21,000, and was subsequently raised to £50,000 in 2002 under the sponsorship of the Man Group, making it one of the world's richest literary prizes. In 1970 Bernice Rubens became the first woman to win the Booker Prize, for the elected member. The rules of the Booker changed in 1971. Previously, it had been awarded retrospectively to books published prior to the year in which the award was given. In 1971 the year of eligibility was changed to the same as the year of the award. In effect, this meant that books published in 1970 were not considered for the Booker in either year. The Booker Prize Foundation announced in January 2010 the creation of a special award called the Lost Man Booker Prize, with the winner chosen from a long list of 22 novels published in 1970. Alice Munro has a unique place in Booker Prize history. The Beggar Maid is the only short story collection to have been shortlisted. Before 2001, each year's long list of nominees was not publicly revealed. John Sutherland, who was a judge for the 1999 prize, has said, "There is a well-established London literary community. Rushdie doesn't get shortlisted now because he has attacked that community. That is not a good game plan if you want to win the Booker. Norman Mailer has found the same thing in the US. You have to be a citizen if you want to win prizes. The real scandal is that Martin Amis has never won the prize. In fact, he has only been shortlisted once, and that was for Time's Arrow, which was not one of his strongest books. That really is suspicious. He pissed people off with Dead Babies, and that gets lodged in the culture. There is also the feeling that he has always looked towards America." Controversies. In 1972, the winning writer John Berger, known for his Marxist worldview, protested during his acceptance speech against Booker McConnell. He blamed Booker's 130 years of sugar production in the Caribbean for the region's modern poverty. Berger donated half of his £5,000 prize to the British Black Panther movement, because they had a socialist and revolutionary perspective in agreement with his own. In 1980, Anthony Burgess, writer of Earthly Powers, refused to attend the ceremony unless it was confirmed to him in advance whether he had one. His was one of two books considered likely to win, the other being Rites of Passage by William Golding. The judges decided only 30 minutes before the ceremony, giving the prize to Golding. Both novels had been seen as favourites to win leading up to the prize, and the dramatic literary battle between two senior writers made front-page news. 1983's judging produced a draw between J.M. Coetzee's Life and Times of Michael Kay and Salman Rushdie's Shame, leaving Chair of Judges Fay Weldon to choose between the two. According to Stephen Moss in The Guardian, her arm was bent and she chose Rushdie only to change her mind as the result was being phoned through. In 1993, two of the judges threatened to walk out when Trainspotting appeared on the long list. Irvine Welsh's novel was pulled from the shortlist to satisfy them. The novel would later receive critical acclaim, and is now considered Welsh's masterpiece. The award has been criticised for the types of books it covers. In 1981, nominee John Banville wrote a letter to The Guardian requesting that the prize be given to him so that he could use the money to buy every copy of the long-listed books in Ireland and donate them to libraries, thus ensuring that the books not only are bought but also read surely a unique occurrence. In 1994, journalist Richard Gott described the prize as a significant and dangerous iceberg in the sea of British culture that serves as a symbol of its current malaise. In 1997, the decision to award Arundhati Roy as the God of Small Things proved controversial. Carmen Cornell, chair of the previous year's Booker judges, called it an execrable book and was seen on television saying it shouldn't even have been on the shortlist. Booker Prize chairman Martin Gough said Roy won because nobody objected, following the rejection by the judges of Bernard McClaverty's shortlisted book due to their dismissal of him as a wonderful short story writer and that Grace Notes was 3 short stories strung together. In 2001, A.L. Kennedy, who was a judge in 1996, called the prize a pile of crooked nonsense with the winner determined by, who knows who, who's sleeping with who, who's selling drugs to who, who's married to who, whose turn it is. Between 2005 and 2008, the Booker Prize alternated between writers from Ireland and India. Outsider John Banville began this trend in 2005 when his novel The Sea was selected as a surprise winner. Boyd Tonkin, literary editor of The Independent, famously condemned it as possibly the most perverse decision in the history of the award, and rival novelist Tiber Fisher poured scorn on Banville's victory. Kiran Desai of India won in 2006. Anne Enright's 2007 victory came about due to a jury badly split over Ian Massawan's novel on Chisel Beach. The following year it was India's turn again, with Aravind Adiga narrowly defeating Enright's fellow Irishman Sebastian Barry. Expansion to include authors regardless of country of origin. On September 18, 2013 the media announced that future Man Booker Prize awards would consider authors from anywhere in the world, so long as their work was in English and published in the UK. This change proved controversial in literary circles. Former winner A.S. Byatt and former Judge John Mullen said the prize risked diluting its identity, whereas former Judge A.L. Kennedy welcomed the change. Judging. The selection process for the winner of the prize commences with the formation of an advisory committee which includes a writer, 2 publishers, a literary agent, a bookseller, a librarian, and a chairperson appointed by the Booker Prize Foundation. The advisory committee then selects the judging panel, the membership of which changes each year, although on rare occasions a judge may be selected a second time. Judges are selected from amongst leading literary critics, writers, academics and leading public figures. The winner is usually announced at a ceremony in London's Guildhall, usually in early October. Winners. In 1993 to mark the 25th anniversary it was decided to choose a Booker of Booker's Prize. 3 previous judges of the award, Malcolm Bradbury, David Holloway and W. L. Webb, met and chose Salman Rushdie's Midnight's Children as the best novel out of all the winners. A similar prize known as the Best of the Booker was awarded in 2008 to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the prize. A short list of 6 winners was chosen and the decision was left to a public vote. The winner was again Midnight's Children. Related awards. A separate prize for which any living writer in the world may qualify, the Man Booker International Prize, was inaugurated in 2005 and is awarded biennially. A Russian version of the Booker Prize was created in 1992 called the Booker Open Russia Literary Prize, also known as the Russian Booker Prize. In 2007, Man Group plc established the Man Asian Literary Prize, an annual literary award given to the best novel by an Asian writer either written in English or translated into English, and published in the previous calendar year. Cheltenham Booker Prize, as part of the Times Literature Festival in Cheltenham, a Booker event is held on the last Saturday of the festival. 4 guest speakers judges debate a short list of 4 books from a given year from before the introduction of the Booker Prize, and a winner is chosen. Unlike the real Man Booker, writers from outside the Commonwealth are also considered. In 2008, the winner for 1948 was Alan Patton's Cry, The Beloved Country, beating Norman Mailer's The Naked and the Dead, Graham Greene's The Heart of the Matter and Evelyn Waugh's The Loved One. See also, List of British Literary Awards. List of literary awards: the Commonwealth Writers' Prize, the Costa Book Awards, the Prix Goncourt, Governor-General's Awards, the Scotiabank Gillard Prize, the Miles Franklin Award, Russian Booker Prize, the Samuel Johnson Prize, German Book Prize. References. Further reading: Lee, Herman. The Booker Prize, Matters of Judgment. Times Literary Supplement, reprinted October 22, 2008. External links: official website, the Booker Prize Archive at Oxford Brookes University, a primer on the Man Booker Prize and critical review of literature. Man Booker Prize 2013 long list announced July 23, 2013, updated with shortlist September 10, 2013.